singing, we will rock you.
Penguin, and I'm calling it Penguin Plus because Dory mentioned before, they changed the way they evaluate links. This plays into Penguin. And before we get started, Penguin is like a 1 out of 10 on the scale of how complicated it is compared to Panda, personal opinion. Took me over a year and something to get Panda figured out or whatever. And Penguin, we're getting recoveries like left and right away. That never happened with Panda. So Penguin is actually going to be a lot shorter. It's going to be to the point, and it's just going to be like step 1, 2, 3, go, go, go. All right, February 28th. This when they changed, I have the same quote as you. We love that quote. They changed the way they evaluate links. So we have many different effects of Penguin, and depending on how you were penalized by Penguin, this will either come into play or it won't come into play. So what Matt Cutts said is he basically, I don't know if there's anyone here from ST Nuke. Is there? No? No? Okay. They put out a video saying that links had no impact on Penguin. No impact whatsoever. And I was like, really? I don't think so. And then Matt Cutts the next day, I think he said, exchange way too many links or go well beyond what you wouldn't expect for Penguin. Or too many keywords on a page. Basically, Matt Cutts told us what Penguin was. He's like, too many keywords on a page, exchange too many links, or go way beyond what you normally expect. And I was like, okay, well, that's pretty simple. So I've been doing, since Penguin came out, I've been doing pretty much 2-3 Penguin site reviews every single day since Penguin came out. And people have just been emailing me nonstop. And this is the stuff I keep on seeing coming up over and over and over again. Keyword stuffing. Everyone's keyword stuffing on the Penguin penalized sites. This is the on page. We're going to start with this because it's easier. Keyword stuffing. Now, a lot of people don't realize that having keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword is keyword stuffing. Well, no, it's not. Honestly, like, it's not to be like, I don't want to, it's not laughing at people. They just don't realize it. And people have been doing it for a long time because we were taught, 2007, this is what we used to do, like get as many things. We have the best car radios, stereos, cars, boats, planes, rocket ships, funny phones, text phones, and then you have all this in the sentences. And you know what, even I was guilty of doing this back in the day. I used to do, let's throw in some keywords, rank for them. And Penguin is actually going after this. So this form of keyword stuffing, this form, and this applies everywhere on your site. Titles, H1s, the content, you do not want to do this. Now, I actually got some people messaging me saying, hey, my competitor has some keyword stuffing, he's not penalized. It's not by doing this once that you're going to get penalized, but a lot of sites that I do see getting penalized are doing this all the time. The other thing, and I love bold. Oh my God, bold all over the place. Excessive bold usage, like in this presentation. I will confess to you guys, my older sites, some of the sites I used to start, I used to do affiliate marketing nonstop. Instead of using H2s, I used to use bold all the time. I would bold paragraphs, entire paragraphs. And then now Google is actually like going after, people who bold, they'll bold the keyword 7 times on a page. Get going after that. They're like, I don't rank for that keyword anymore. I'm like, I know, because you're over optimizing basically. You could bold it once. You'll get away with it. But as soon as you start bolding 3/4 of your presentation, like I am, you're going to get penalized. So this is a quick on-page stuff you need to fix for Penguin. Now, basically excessive keyword optimization as well. H1, H2, titles, and links. If every single H2 has car loans, what you need to have in your car loans, what you're looking for when you're shopping for a car loan. If you're always repeating the same keyword, you're likely to get penalized. So it's really easy to fix, and this is why I like Penguin. Come on, it's easy. Remove it. Redo your on pages for your sites. Remove the keyword stuffing, remove the bold usage, remove the excessive keywords and over optimization. And I get a lot of questions about like, yeah, but my URLs all have the keyword inside. I'm like, okay, no, that's okay. We've done recoveries even if you have the URLs. It's really what you write on the page. Because I know you can't change the URLs, and that's okay, but it's what you write on the actual URL name if you're linking to that URL. So, Penguin actually, in my experience, and I've been doing tons of these every single day, have two types of drops. And most people are suffering from the small drops. Now, the small drops, I'm talking about you're ranking number 2, now you're ranking number 6. You're ranking number 1, now you're ranking number 8. Those are small drops. You're still in there. You're just not ranking as high. Those are completely different from the big drops, where you basically lost all your traffic. You're like not ranking. You were used to be on number 1, now you're nowhere to be found. And these actually both have two different types of remedies. Now, let's take a look at the big drops. Big drops, basically, if you're penalized by big drops, it means usually manual action's been taken on your site, usually, and you actually have a serious penalty for that. So first step is always fix your on page. But second, you're going to have to run a link checker to find all your links and see where they're coming from, see which ones were penalized or probably weren't penalized. And most of the time, it's all about the anchor text variation and also the relevancy. Big drops means most of the time that someone from Google actually saw your site, said, oh man, they're overdoing it, they're over-optimizing. And what happens is, a lot of times, the people that have recovered from it, they've all done the same things. And I've been doing this since Penguin came out. They've all done the same things. They went out and they removed the incriminating links that Google found. Google actually found links that were incriminating, and then these people they removed it, then they did a reconsideration request, and then they were back in after usually 2-3 tries, because usually they don't get it the first time. So that's the big drop recovery. There's other people that experimented with 301 redirects, like the person in the back. I'm pretty sure that was a 301 way of solving your Penguin issue, where you could actually just redirect and start with a new domain, start with a new URL, but I never recommend that, because the point of fixing it is not to start over. Like, that's not a fix, that's just starting over. What I recommend instead is, if you've been hit by a big drop, go pull out, use SEO Majestic, use SEO Moz, use like every single link, even the Google Webmaster Tools, you can download all your links. Find all your links, compile them, and then from there, search for which links are probably penalized by Google. And Google doesn't actually tell you which links have been penalized. They want to see you go crazy and try to find them. What I recommend is start with the easy things. First of all, sort them by PR0, no rank. That doesn't mean that a PR0 link is penalizing you. It's not. Actually, even a link with no rank is not necessarily penalizing you, but it's a good place to start, because usually it's not PR5 links that are going to get you penalized. Usually it's the low quality links that Google have been talking about. So this is just a place to start, and once you start, look at relevance. Does this link have any relevance around it? If you are getting links to your fishing pole site and you're getting links from a Chinese blog roll, it's not going to work out too well. If it's completely off topic, it's not ranked, and you don't even have an article, you just have like a profile link, like one link pointing back to you, those are likely the ones that Google has gone after. And now, is there a way to know for sure? Google doesn't tell you, so no. Most of the people that I've talked to and I've coached and that we've worked with to do recoveries on big drops, they've all found the shadiest links they could find and say, oh, this really does look like spam. They removed them, did a reconsideration request, and then that's when they got back into Google. So that's for the big drops. But now, the smaller drops. Now this is a case study. I did this one really recently, and you're going to see some amazing results. GamingPC.ca. Let's look at the keyword stuffing. Now the title was keyword stuff. Gaming PC Canada, best gaming computers, custom gaming computers, Gaming PC Canada. You can guess what it got penalized for. It got penalized for gaming computers, which is kind of bad when that's what you sell as an e-commerce store. And that was due to both on-page and off-page. So the first thing we did is we just basically went in and we removed all the content, all the on-page optimizations. We rewrote it. And now we're not as optimized for those keywords, and we're not keyword stuffing. This is what happened to the front page. This is only the front page, and this is what happened to the front page on April 24th, where it went from here, and it basically got half the traffic. Because this group of keyword, anything that had to do with gaming computers, was hit. So, basically we fixed the on-page, removed everything, like we just said, and then what happened is also that page, that website had a lot of older links that were discounted because there was no relevancy. So what we did was we just replaced it with new high quality links. And this is what happened. Here, we fixed all the on-page, and then you had a low quality links, and here we fixed it, and we built new links. And then this is it, it's back. That was it, that's Penguin in a nutshell. A lot of times if you're penalized, because you have a lot of links that were discounted, you have too much on-page optimization. And now we're actually just as high as we were before, and actually we're going to be, we're probably going to keep on doing a link building campaign, we're probably going to pass where we originally were. So that's it. You know, I don't want to complicate things a lot more. The other thing is finally the anchor text diversity. This is what you're going to want to look at. Is for Penguin we have to stop doing 100%, or a lot of site reviews that I've been doing look like this. And now this is the anchor text. I actually kind of blanked it out just so you can see. But these are the sites that we're coming from, and this is the anchor text they had. And you know what? Page 2. More anchor text. And this site obviously got penalized for this. This is why Matt Cutts said, and this was kind of scary, some people are going to have to start off with new sites. If you have 10,000 links like this, all pointing to a home page, fixing this is actually going to be really tough. You can do it, but it's going to be really tough. So the quick recovery plan I've been talking about, fix your H1, your titles, remove the over optimization. What I tell everyone is list a variation of your anchor text. When I do link building, I have about 50 variations of the anchor text. Most of the time when I'm giving my assistants, I have a few assistants, I will give each one a different list. I have one guy, I'll have a list of 10, 20 variation anchor text. The other guy I'll have, and I just separate the list and I hand out all the lists. So that way I know that we're not going to get the same anchor text over and over again. Then after that, build high quality links, because likely with Penguin, a lot of people that went from number 1 to number 8, it's because they lost high quality links. It's just as simple as that. Google's been discounting links that don't have relevance. If you have profile links, if you have like just random link without any relevant text around it, they've been discounting those. So you need to rebuild high quality links. And then optional, if there's a big drop, this is step number 4, you're going to have to do a reconsideration request after you remove the penalized backlinks. Now I know there's some people, I've heard rumors I guess, some people that have had a big drop and were able to recover, but everyone I've been working with for the past month, this is the easiest way. You have to actually remove, because if Google comes in, gives you a manual penalty, and your site is red flagged, you're not getting out of that without doing a reconsideration request. And it sucks, but you know, it's just the truth. So that's it. Short and simple.
Okay, questions on that for Eric?
What was number 3 again?
Number 3?
High quality.
High quality links. And I know this all sounds really simple and straightforward, and I tried to make it all simple and straightforward. And I've been doing, but it's because it really is. Like I've been doing recoveries for the past 3-4 months.
I have never seen anybody recover from Penguin, so I'm happy to see that you're doing stuff like that. Is anybody here recovered from Penguin?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Remember that one client I had that was number 1 for vasectomy?
Because they
I had a client that there was one that was number 1 for vasectomy reversal and then went off and then you were like link density on the anchor text. And rather than take anything out, what I did was I just gradiently added more links that were buried. And in fact, he's at number 23 now and number 1 at Bing.
So what is?
From the last time we talked.
So what this is telling me that it's not like Panda where it's a refresh, and I was under the influence that it was going to be a refresh, an update every time, like they did a Penguin update in May, and they haven't done one the last 4 months. We've all been waiting for that next Penguin thing to see what's going to happen. So this is interesting information for me, and I hope it is for you, that possibly that's not the case. Also, which is great information.
Here's just one thing I need to clarify about Penguin is page specific, and Panda that I was talking about before is site wide. So Penguin, a lot of times, it's one single page, like your front page. Most people, it's all their front pages. Their front page you really got to hit, and they dropped a bunch of ranks. And then the other pages still kind of rank. It can still rank. So Penguin is really page specific, and Panda is the entire site. just wanted to clarify that.
I'll be back.
So I have a question because we're dealing with Penguin Recovery for our clients too.
Yeah.
If they have a bunch of links that aren't necessarily from spammy places, but it's definitely the keyword optimization, they did cheap car insurance to everything like we all did
Yeah.
forever. But you can't really get those removed because they're on third-party sites and you email them in, they don't really do it. Is it still recoverable to just supplement, like build a bunch of
Yes.
links consistently with the other versions and
There's
branding
two
keywords
things
and
you could do.
things?
Actually, there's three things you could do. First of all, when you're doing, if let's say you're trying to get links removed, you have a big penalty. I have people that have emailed Google, reconsideration request. Inside, you actually write, I tried to get these links removed. They didn't respond. I tried to get these removed. They didn't respond. I removed these. And there's actually real people on the other end, and they say, oh, okay, I get it. Oh, I understand. And then they actually fix it. So if you try and you can't, there are actually real people on the other side that will understand your situation and they will work with you. And I've seen there's a recovery that was done like that, where the guy said, I just can't get them removed. And then they recovered. So that's what I would probably recommend. However, one thing I've been testing is exactly like, I don't know what your name is, but like you said, there you go, link dilution. Where if you have like 60% is your main anchor text and you dilute it, we've seen increases at that point. But you know what? What I tried doing is I ran Scrapebox. And I got like 10,000 links to dilute, and it didn't work. That was one of my failed experiments. I was experimenting with Penguin. Okay, let's just blast this site with tons of different anchor texts, and they got indexed, and then there was tons of variation, and that didn't work.
The dilution of relevancy works really well.
Well, there you go, because you would need relevancy. But then the question is are you ranking back higher because you just have new high quality links? You know, because then you're just getting high quality links with relevancy. And did that fix the problem, or you just got links discounted? That's why with the gaming PC example, we built new high quality links, because some of the older links that we had weren't good anymore. Oh, and on a happy note, Gaming PC is ranking #1 on Google.ca. Yay!
I want to add something here. I think they're already running. I think Google's already running something right now. It's on Foxstar.com. It's one of their custom searches. So if you run it, I think they're going back, or that's actually the refresh that's going to happen. Did anybody look into that? Foxstar.com.
No.
It's just like a refresh of the Penguin that's coming soon, I guess.
Like the next update?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're testing.
There's supposed to be a next huge
But
big update coming
They're
out.
testing it only on the API. So.
Yeah, there's another big update coming, and
All right. So.
I'm just gonna have more work. It's gonna be awesome. That's what I do, right? Yeah.
Did any of your high quality links include?
Well, but I don't know how to prioritize here.
That's okay.
I think he was first.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, we'll have to.
The question is for those who want to try the link dilution, at what rate should you build new links to dilute?
Oh, you know what? If you're going to do link dilution, don't learn from my mistakes. Don't use Scrapebox and just blast out, because it doesn't work. However, if you're going to do link dilution, you need to do link dilution with high quality links. That's your best bet. Sorry? Relevant websites that have a relevant theme with like a link inside an article, those are high quality links. Do as many as you can. If you could get more than 10 high quality links per day, or 20 high quality links per day, and I'm talking about themed related links, then you're doing really well, because I have a whole team, and just getting these really high quality links is tough. That's why they're worth it.
To get the gaming PC back on #1, did you use any high-quality links that had that anchor text?
Yes. Gaming PC is actually, last time I checked, was #1 for the term gaming PC in Google.ca, which is a big money term, and also it's beating Dell, I think, for gaming computers in Canada, and Alienware and HP and all those. So it's pretty happening. It might change, and it has to be on Google.ca, but that's good because it's Canadian based.
And what percentage anchor text?
what we did is I could actually write it down. Hey, I'm going to get to use this right now. Woo! All right. Gaming. Oh my God. All right. Maybe not. Gaming PC. I used PC gaming. And then I had, what is it? I had, I used, when I do, here we go, gaming. Oh, yeah, I'll give you another big trick that I used. Personal computer. Here's what I do when I build my keyword text, my anchor text. I use, not only, I use this, I always reverse it. I always have this, and I always add an S. So I always have, first of all, I have my main term, and this is about 20-30%. Then I'll have the plurals, and I'll reverse it, and I'll have this, and I'll have PC gamings. Then I will have synonyms for both. So gaming, and I'll have personal computer. Then I'll have game, PC. And this is all synonym, and I'll have PC, game. So basically Google knows that these are all synonyms. They actually give you rankings and relevancy for this. But I have like a ninja thing that I'm going to share right now. I don't know if I should share it, but I guess, because I know some people here are going to like try to outrank me now. But if you want to build the most relevancy ever, and you want to outrank everyone, here's what you need to do. You need to Google gaming. Google it. When you Google gaming, you know what shows up? Not games, gambling. Build anchor text for gambling. To your site. I did gambling PC. I did, in my anchor, on my on page, I said, don't gamble with your next purchase. You know what that does? Google thinks this is the most relevant page in the world for gaming. Not only does it have games, but it also has gaming for and gambling. It confuses both, and therefore my relevancy shot straight through the roof because I was the only site on the internet hitting both areas of their searches. So whenever you have a search term, Google it, have that one keyword, and then whatever Google pushes out, like it might push out things you're not expecting. Oh my God, okay, I'm going to share it. Because I want a big applause, right? So there you go. And that prize at the end. Yeah. All right. I'm ranking for the #1 spot, and like millions of people have been trying to get this. And one of them was, when I was in the dating niche, was, let me write it on top. This is like black hat, ninja, whatever stuff you want. How to pick up girls. #1 for like 2 years, 3 years, maybe still #1 right now. I don't know. You know why?
People search that? Just kidding.
You sell a lot of affiliate programs with this. This had pickup. You know what I had when I searched for pickup?
Chevy trucks.
That's it. That's right. We were getting pickup truck results. So I got pickup truck. Not only I got inside, I got pickup truck links. So I had pickup truck. I had pickup. In my article, actually, on the on page, I actually had truck relevancy. On the text, and the first line, I was talking about trucks and picking up and lifting. So I had pickup, I had lifting, I had trucks, I had everything, and all the relevancy boosted me up to #1, even though my competitors were like freaking out because they had more links than me. They really did have a lot more links than me. I was like laughing my ass off to the bank and I was never getting dethroned because I had the relevancy of a god. I just had every single term, and no one knew. you guys are the first ones to know. No one knew, because they would read my article, and I was like, the article that was written, it was like, oh yeah, you just want to get this, and I implemented truck. I forget what I said, but it was like, yeah, you might think that girls girls really like trucks, but what you really need to pick up on is, and then so forth, and then it was just unbelievable relevancy in everything from on-page to the links that I'm building, and Google can't tell the difference. And that's the problem. Is
basically the spellings that are competitive verticals.
yeah, they're like, oh, well, this is so relevant to what you're searching for. And when you're the only one that has all these relevancies coming together, that's not a word, but you're going to rank number one.
Wait. I want to say that we have food out there, and we're going to take questions, so we're not like breaking, but you can just go and get your food and come back to the table if you want to eat.
You want to do it?
I was trying to do table to table, but they weren't going.
Because you were listening.
But I figured, people want to stay.
So 5-10 minute break?
Yeah.
No, then everybody's going to rush it.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Let's keep on going.
So go ahead.
Okay, so I had a question regarding the on-page factors.
Yep.
Can you give me a little bit more data on that? Are you saying that the H1, H2, and title tags, like it shouldn't be exact match, or that no keywords at all in there, or just variations of the keywords?
Okay, what are we talking about? Penguin, Panda, on-page, just ranking normally?
Yeah, I think on-page, the one that we were just talking about, on-page in regards to Penguin.
Okay, on-page relevant to Penguin. Stand over here. Yeah. What I usually do is always have your keyword. So it's a big mistake to just completely remove your keyword. I try to have it either in the H1 or the H2, and also the title tag of the page. But I always supplement it with different things. And then what I do is the H2s, if I have it in the H1, then the H2s are all going to be synonyms. I use synonyms like left and right. They're just, that's it. Building relevancy is all about hitting the other keywords around your anchor text. It's not about getting the anchor text over and over again. It's about hitting, sometimes they're not even, it's not just the same word, it's just like a relevant word. So like I just showed you guys here, sometimes it's not gaming, but it could be gamble. And that's relevant. So
For the H2 or something?
Yeah, for the H2s. Yeah, like I really do have, if you look at Gaming PC, I think somewhere it says don't gamble on your next purchase and all that stuff because of relevancy related to gaming.
Yeah, so you're speaking mainly in terms of like putting in your exact match and like title H1, H2, H3, blue widget.
Yeah, don't do that. You're gonna get penalized.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big way to get. If all your H2s have the same like keywords over and over again, that's a big way of getting penalized.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
How about using
As far as what you were speaking on dilution and relevant dilution of keywords, you can train Google. You can pick your own related keywords and train Google to make it relevant to your industry and bash it and then make yourself exclusive for it. It works, and it doesn't have to be related. It's just a matter of how much crud you've pumped at it. But there's an interesting program that sucks just tons of relevant content based on what people have typed in Google and then reverses it out and pulls it forward and charts it from a series of 1 to 10. And you can say, give me all, you put in one keyword and you can get thousands or hundreds, and it'll go from 1 to 10 as far as whatever your topic is, and it's relevant because it's what people typed into the darn thing. It's called
I've actually seen some of those tools. And you know what people do? No, I've seen tools similar to that. They're like relevancy tools.
No, it's okay. No, go ahead. I've used it for a long time, and it's good. But go ahead, please. I want to hear it.
No, but people try to like correct the tool. A lot of times people try to correct the tool, like exactly the tool, like the relevancy. Well, you're gonna tell me, but a lot of times what I see.
I just didn't get to it.
Yeah, a lot of times what I see people do is they see all these pickup truck results and they ignore them. They're like, oh, that's not good.
Right. And
you just have to use them.
It's exactly in line with what you're saying, but it actually picks up on that.
I know.
Because then they try to refeed it back to you, and you're like, oh, here's the whole thing. It's called Keyword Snatcher, and it's the dude that wrote the best spinner, for Christ's sake. It's just like one of his, I don't know. But I've seen other things copying what he did. Other people have done the same thing. But man, when you're like, wait, I got all these articles and I want to bash them out, and I only can think of 12 related keywords. Zzz, oh, here's 1,200. Spin them in. Go for it. Anyway.
I think that's what it is.
Does anyone else have a
What was the name of the
question?
tool?
I was using, I think, Google Search Insights or something like
Yeah,
that.
he said keyword snatcher.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
You said before the only way to really remove the Penguin penalty is going to be a reconsideration request?
I'm just gonna put like, if you got hit bad, if you went from page 1 to page like nowhere, then yes, then usually that's the only way. If you only dropped a bit, like page 1, number 2 position to like number 8 position, then no, it doesn't. You don't have to.
Supplement that. Let's say back in April, maybe it wasn't so bad, but since then it's been getting worse.
Usually when things get worse, like gradually worse,
Right.
that's usually because a lot of your older backlinks are getting de-indexed. That's usually because you have an older site.
Right.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, and either you're going to have to look at 2 things. First of all, a lot of older HTML sites have been seeing this, like old Yahoo commerce stores have been seeing this, where like the layout's really old and they had a bunch of old backlinks that were done in 2005, and they aren't relevant backlinks, and those backlinks are going down, down, down. And as you lose the backlinks, that's why you get a slow decline.
Got it.
So-
So if you saw a somewhat of a change back when Penguin hit,
Yeah.
then you may not have to go through that, just billable links.
Yes, but you might have. Here's the thing: you might have like a few issues working at the same time. You might have like you might have Penguin, Panda, and like everything and all at the same time. You just it's case per case.
Sorry, so you mentioned.
Here, I'll just get you the mic.
You mentioned the de-index of your links were de-indexed, or were they removed?
Discounted.
Discounted.
They're still there.
Okay.
They're just being Google is discounting the links.
Why is that?
Sorry?
Why?
Because they're spamming links.
I see.
Google has actually said that they're discounting links that no longer, they're just not counting them anymore. When every link that Google goes through, they always have to assign it a value, because that's how PageRank works. It has to say, okay, this has value, this link doesn't have value. And what they do is a lot of times they'll look at relevancy, and they'll say like, okay, well this link is on a relevant page, high page rank, has a lot of authority, and then they'll pass on a lot of page juice to you, and you're gonna rank a lot higher. But what Google's been doing is just saying, no, we're not. This is a zero link. We're not passing anything, and that's what I mean by discounting. Yeah.
So I have 2 questions. One is kind of more for the room, and the other is for Eric. I was a heavy user of BMR. When they put out the opportunity to take links down, I passed on it, and I'm wondering if there's still the opportunity to do that, if anybody else went with one option or the other, and what their experience has been. And then more of my question for Eric is, I've got one client who just nosedived, and I think it's related to this BMR thing. But the guy who stayed in position number 1 has 85% of his links that are the exact anchor text, and I cannot understand why this guy is still there. Have you ever seen a situation like that?
Yeah, for sure.
And so what else is it that's good about the site that can overcome an 85% concentration on one keyword?
Well, that's a really good question. A lot of times, it's like actually Dory presented it. The first presentation where it was the first presentation she made was all about that that most people that had under 50% like anchor text violation, most of the time they weren't hit, and most, it's kind of that 50%, and that's a general guideline. Now, the 85% is really easy to explain. It's because all those links usually are relevant. You could actually have, if your links are relevant and they're from relevant sites, if let's say you have a blog roll, you have a real estate site, and you get a blog roll from another real estate site, and it's going to give you like 100,000 like backlinks, and they're all going to be relevant, you're not going to get penalized. Like you're not going to get penalized because they're relevant links coming to another relevant website. Where you really do get struck down is if you get a blog roll link from from I don't know, a dog or cat website, and you have a real estate site, and then you're getting 100,000 links from there, you're getting 100,000 non-relevant links, which are deemed low quality, and that's when you get penalized. So the person that has the 85% is not something I would ever recommend, because I'm in the business of recovering people. You know, like ranking high, recovering, but to explain it, it's probably because they're good links or somewhat relevant.
It's also, I meant just specific to that, back it up, and the whole industry has a percentage for the most part of all the operations.
I'm going to comment on, I'm going to actually just rephrase your comment and just comment on it. Yeah, it's more, you said that it seems to be industry specific, depending on the anchor text like percentage. For Penguin, I've actually not noticed that. I've actually, for a lot of, they've always been saying that for keyword rankings, depending on how much anchor text you need, depending on how much you, how many links you need. They're like, well, it varies for niche to niche, niche to niche to niche keywords. What I've been seeing for Penguin seems to be playing by like an absolute threshold where you could pass the threshold and then you get hit by a penalty. So it doesn't seem like the car industry has a bigger tolerance than, let's say, another industry. It just seems to be like, okay, well, here you're getting hit because you passed over this threshold, this mysterious like limit that we put. So that's just my, I mean, you prove me wrong, I'll be happy. But like that's what I've noticed from all my things, is it seems to be pretty consistent across the board. Yeah.
I was actually getting ready to ask the same question she did. In a couple of cities, we had a couple of different competitors. One city, the guy had position 1 and 2, and through the Penguin thing, did not move. So I went in a deep study to find out, you know, what are these guys doing? And what I found out, I mean, when I put in their keyword list, it was 98%. Yeah. I mean, they were using 2 to 3 keywords, and that's all they were sending links to. And what I found out, they had probably about 1,600 backlinks to their website. They had about 135 to 140 different referring domains. Every single one of those domains was a blog, their own private blog network, and the majority of them were all private registration. And so that's why I'm here, because I really feel that, like you said, if they're relevant links from relevant websites, and I know as their personal blog network is because every one of their clients, I can go through page after page after page. I mean, I spent hours and hours, probably over a month, studying this. All their clients were on those blogs, and they were different clients, different niches, all local stuff. And
that's why I mentioned when I was sitting down, it's one of the big things, if you have a relevant H2, and then you have a content inside under the relevant H2, you're going to have a relevant backlink. It's really, you need to either have a relevant H1 or a relevant H2, and that's going to give your backlink relevancy. If you don't, if you just have one single link floating on a page, it's going to try to take this page theme relevancy, and if it's not relevant, you're not going to get a good backlink out of it.
Eric, can you create a relevant page from like an article directory?
Second, yeah. Sure.
Go ahead. I'm just trying to understand how we can create more relevant links instead of having to, like, say, build a blog network. Can you go to, say, create an article and then add the H1 like you've been talking about? Is that considered a relevant link by being on someone else's network?
Yeah, no, it is. It's going to be. It won't. It's a link that's not going to get you penalized, but it's a link that's not going to do much for you.
Oh, so
because it's all about, you know, you could create a Web 2, you could create a Web 2.0 content, like just
Squiddo.
Yeah, you could create like a Squiddo, but if you don't have links going into it, it's not going to be very strong. And when you need, in order to rank these days, you actually do need PageRank. Like the net's been around, like the internet's been around for a while. People have PageRank, they have like juice. So if you're just giving like small, like little articles, even if you put on a big site, the PageRank doesn't flow very well. Even if you look at eZine, PageRank is, I think, that's the biggest one, and PageRank doesn't flow well across eZine. So your article, even if it's relevant, it won't be a bad link. It won't penalize you if it's relevant, but it's not going to help you because it just has like a PageRank, like it has no flow, it has no energy, no gut behind it. So don't spend your time doing on that. Don't spend your time there. Instead, there's many other ways of getting relevant page rank.
On re-inclusion, I have a site that's very similar to Gaming PC that just had main keywords get hit and drop 200 spots.
Yeah.
Did you do a re-inclusion request for that? No.
No. It's just, like I said, small drops, because the keyword Gaming PC, it went from page 1, I think it was 3rd, to page 2 or 3. So it was still in. It was just hanging out in the back end.
Like page 20.
Sorry?
I went to page 20 for like the 2 minutes.
20? But you know, you're still kind of in there. It could be because you lost your main backlinks. If you lose your main backlinks, you're going to go way far. Like if you had main ones. But I mean, I don't draw the line. Like I don't know where the line is.
I have a two-part question. I have a couple sites from like 1996 that have plenty of really good, juicy backlinks for, like, it's a branded term. How do you feel, and I'm not really ranking for the main term that I want to rank for.
Yeah.
As far as having those webmasters change the link to the new anchor text, how do you feel about that since they've been submitted there since 96, 97?
Kidnap their dog, hold it hostage, shall they change the link? I don't know.
No, I'm saying, no, I'm not asking how to get them to do it. I'm saying,
oh, okay. Well,
do you think that that's a good idea to have them change the anchor text to the keyword I'd rather have?
Yes, but make sure there's relevancy around it. If they're just changing an anchor text, like just randomly changing an anchor text, and their site's not relevant to it, it's not going to help you. Like if you, especially with the older links, what Google's really doing, like they're looking at relevancy a lot more these days. That's why when I was sitting there, I was like, I'm doing a study on relevancy now. This is why, because it's really a big focus to eliminate spam, to eliminate all that stuff. So if it's an older site, a lot of the older sites like yourself have really good backlinks that were giving them tons of juice for like years and years, and now because they're no longer have that same relevancy, they're being discounted. So I don't want you to lose your backlinks, so make sure that the link that you're getting is still a relevant link.
And on that note, when you're staying, below the threshold of whatever you want, if your money keyword is car insurance, and you have all these juicy link opportunities, like on, like let's say a PR6 EDU blog or something, that you can choose your anchor text. You're obviously not going to put a click here or this post sort of anchor text on a site like that. So
I go against the grain. I actually don't use the branded, the click here and all that. I do it like I just showed you there. I do that, and every single term is a synonym or it's a synonym or related word, and I build hundreds of those.
So you don't waste really good link opportunities.
Some people say it's not a waste. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm ranking #1 for a lot of things. So I don't. I feel if you have click here, I feel you're kind of throwing it away just for the purpose of diluting it. I'd rather have something like out of left field. Like I'd rather have a pickup truck link. Or like, well, it's not that, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'd rather have something that's slightly related. For Gaming PC, we have one of them is like systems for gamers, and that's not the term we're going for, but it's in the ballpark. It's in there somewhere. So that dilutes at the same time, but it also gives us relevancy. And who knows, someone might type that in one day.
Is there a keyword tool you use?
Sorry?
A keyword tool you use?
Oh, keyword tool I use. Yes. Put me on the spot here. I'd say, well, you know what? I use Market Samurai. I just pulls it from Google, and I look at my competitors, and I also do most of the stuff I do it manually, because I believe in not spamming articles, and that's one of the big things I used to do, and now I don't spam articles. So my keyword lists end up being, let's say about 5. I'll have 100 keywords for a site, and that'll be my total for that one site for 1 year or so, and then I'll work to make all those rank really high. And I don't need to do constant. I don't need to spin out 1,000 different keyword variations. So I tend to do it manually as much as possible, using common sense, looking at my competitors, and I use the Google tool, which has Market Samurai, just does that for me. It's nice, simple.
Hey, Eric. We have a site that's been ranking #1 for about 5 years, actually, in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
And it got hit, and I was going to do some drastic changes for recovery. And just about when we're getting ready to do implementation, it bounced back to the front page, but just in spot 3.
Okay.
Just in your experience from recovery from other case studies, have you noticed that go ahead and make those changes and even just take you to that next level? Like one of them, is key. All the navigations, keyword this, keyword that, keyword this. That was one of the things we were going to change. But now that it's back up, there, and then money's instantly, flowing again.
Well, that's perfect. Like, if it's back up, then just tweak and improve, and you build new backlinks. Like whenever something is going really well, don't scrap it for the sake of scrapping it. But like
totally
take everything we talked about in Panda right here and slowly implement that and monitor the changes. And then if that should be helping you increase even more, and then just build backlinks. But here's the big thing: is a lot of times we talked about the new Google penalties. These penalties didn't exist 2-3 years ago, and all these penalties have thresholds. They have like limits where like, oh, you're on that side now, and you get slapped silly. And then Google, every time there's a refresh, you know what Google's actually doing? Sometimes they're adding new things they're looking for, but sometimes they're just tweaking the variable of whatever they were looking for. Let's say they were looking a maximum keyword density of 55%, which is absurd, but like when the next refresh, they might bring it down to like 53%. The next refresh after that might be 58%. And then they look at this little variable that they switch and see how far they tweak the knob. So there might have been a refresh recently where like they tweaked the knob just a bit down and your site bounced back up, which means that your site is borderline.
Yeah.
But if it stays on that side forever, then it's perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
So. Cool.
Anyone?
Nobody.
Yes.
No, I'm happy to. Back to the truck instance of it apparently being non-related but related, I just thought it was interestingly relevant. Why would that happen? It ties into the whole branding thing. Because how does Google know that XJBY7 is like the #1 selling carburetor for a truck? Mm-hmm. So when you sort of get that, I know for my sake, why is a slightly related but not related thing relevant to the overall relevancy of the whole site when I'm so keyword specific, and why does it work when you're delving seemingly not keyword specific over the edge? I think it's going to be stronger because everyone's branding. It's that logical connection makes a lot of sense, and you're theoretically why you go that direction.
Do you have a question? Is there a question? No.
He was just chiming in.
Okay. No, well, relevancy, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how Google comes up with the relevancy. They must have some geniuses writing code down there. It must be smart to have to work at Google. But
it's a memory.
But that's the thing, like. Yeah, but I just use it to my advantage whenever I can, like.
Okay, I got a question for you. For branded, if we're looking at the, I guess the link density of a keyword for a site, what's a good percentage do you think for like the branded term of the site? Like if I'm ranking and I want to rank for blue widgets, what percentage should be like the name of my company? Joe's whatever it's called.
I actually. See, I go about it a different way. You're actually going to get different responses from everyone here, probably. Because I specialize in recovering and not getting penalized in the first place. So I always give, I guess, conservative answers to any question, because my objective is not for you to like pass over that edge, but instead to just be safe and recover. So in terms of branded results, I do it if it makes sense, if it's applicable. Most of the time, I'm going to be getting links. The way I get links, it's going to end up happening because sometimes I can't choose my anchor text. Sometimes they just give me like a www.gamepc.ca or whatever, and you just can't choose it. That's just the link that you get, and I just let them be. Otherwise, I do exclusively synonyms. I don't worry about click here. I don't worry about my company name. I don't worry about that. I always do random synonyms. So everything is varied, but I'm always getting relevancy. Of course, if your site name happens to be relevant to your product, then it's perfect. I always try to slip that into my anchor text list. So it's going to get, basically the answer is it's going to get as much as all the others. If I have 20 variations, then it's going to be 2 out of 20 or so. So you do get some, but not that much.
Before the next question, I'd like to do some SEO makeovers. The internet is really, really slow. So if anybody wants to give me a site, and I'll start loading it while he continues to answer questions.
I'm gonna get some water.
And I also want to point out that since this came up, linkdensity.com, which is a new program that I'm trying to create. It's in beta, but yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't right now. Anyway, so I wanted to pull up a report where it shows, this is my site right here that I had done, and I had SEO tips, 60%. Somebody was doing some linking for me, and I really got killed on all that stuff. But it's really cool, and we're going to go through this and see some of your anchor text, and then Eric's going to rip apart some of your pages. So while he's answering questions, I'm going to load her page and try to get some density. Good idea. But she can do it right here.
Yeah, but I mean after that.
Right, you guys are going to laugh at me. I'm a baby in this world, okay?
So I was just going to say, if you write on one of the pads of paper, and then we can load it up, so write legibly. Sorry.
Howdy. What?
It's on. You just have to.
Oh, okay. No, I just don't want to. Well, Eric, I actually, this is not a panda penguin question, but it is I think kind of yeah, no more furry animals for this particular question.
All right.
But I mean, truth be told, Google is primarily an advertising company, all right? So the organic results are kind of what got them where they are. But I don't know if you're noticing this in Canada, but what we're noticing is that there's less and less organic real estate on a lot of terms. So you get all these sponsored results that are now kind of looking very much like organic results. Then you've got the local results, which is fine for some of the stuff we do. And then what you're getting is the a few organic results at the bottom. So my question to you is, from a stats standpoint, are you finding it in Canada where you primarily are, and B, are you finding that because of this configuration you're getting a huge drop in traffic? Because I do know that most, the number one results should get about 40% of all the traffic, and it used to be that the sponsored results would get no more than 2.5 to 5%. But I'm seeing it a little different because of the way they're putting the sponsored results, and I just wanted to know what you thought or what you're seeing on that.
Okay, well in Canada, well, you know what? I go back and forth a lot because I do SEO, but I do international SEO, so I use google.com and I make sure it's from the States. And I go back and forth, depending on my clients, to google.ca and back to google.com. I'm noticing on google.com, there's a lot of more social media. Social media like this person plus one this person plus one this. You have more author faces that are popping up. You're getting a lot more of that. In terms of actual traffic numbers, no, they haven't. Because my traffic numbers in the industries I am currently in, there's less everything else. Like you're not getting, like the results haven't changed that much. In the niches I am. Local is going to be different for sure. But I can't comment on US local. But in terms of the traffic that I've been seeing, it's been increasing because most people aren't doing this. I don't know. Like I know my traffic has been increasing pretty substantially from organic listings because I'm actually implementing the social. I'm implementing the highest quality on page, and it's just going up.
Well, the social ranking
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you can put your authorship, the Google authorship,
Yeah,
so you
I
have
have
your,
that too.
so have your picture and whatnot, because I found that even, like, I had a little slap, and I went from like number 1 for my main keyword to 5 or 6, and it didn't make such a big difference because no one else had authorship. And so next to my listing is, picture of me with pink hair.
Right now-
It's more likely to click on, that's all.
Authorship is huge if you're
Yeah.
writing articles and you're actually have the actual person. That doesn't affect, like if you could be ranking number 2 but you have a picture and you have your name next to it, people will click that more than number 1.
Yeah,
so.
a picture driven, but yeah, I don't know if you've seen these results. Steve, you know which ones I'm talking about, where the actual organic results are not even almost to the bottom of the page. Yeah, I don't have a specific right now, but we noticed it like last week.
That must be local, and that'll be your expertise in there.
Yeah, no, it actually wasn't local, but I can't remember what it is offhand, and I haven't had enough caffeine yet today.
There's 5. Yeah, instead of 1 through 10, they're 1 through 5. Yeah, it's happening in certain niches, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just 5, that's it. And there's stuff I've seen for years, and it just started like 5 weeks ago. Health, herbal products, that type of thing, yeah.
Singing, we